Hi all, this is my Barriers to Using Web 2.0 in 21st Century Schools presentation, Module 5 for AEP 800. So, article summary. This article basically talks about two trains of thought, the advantages and the disadvantages of Web 2.0 in our schools and our classrooms for both teachers and for students. One of the big things I picked up on was the digital divide. I always knew that there was a division between access to internet and not access to internet and what caused some of those things, and then the use of technology, having a name, digital divide, now face to the name, so to speak. I think the biggest thing I took from this whole article, though, was the questions I continued to ask myself. So, was my school heading in the right direction? Were we doing the things right? What was our digital divide? What are the big issues we're seeing with the web and technology? What are some of the advantages? So the continuous questioning I kept asking myself was the biggest part I thought that I took from this article. So let's get into it. So do I feel the digital divide can be resolved? So again, I had kind of broke it up into two separate pieces. So the first one was the digital divide at home. So in our communities, in our country, the poverty rate is increasing in the U.S. The community access is limited due to funding. So like it talked about, where libraries and community centers and things like that don't always have access, and if they do have access, it's not updated access. Um, that's an issue. And then the purpose behind the access of is for entertainment. So what we see with a big cutoff here is the lack of, or I guess the misuse of, um, the internet and technology is more for entertainment, not necessarily to gain information or to to build as lifelong learners or 21st century thinkers. It is just simply to be entertained. So we're not using it to its full capacity. So me personally, I do not see as a country solving this digital divide. I don't. I don't see that a lot of people want internet and technology for information. They want it and need it for entertainment. Now, on the flip side of that, we've got digital divide in schools. And I think if we are going to shrinken or resolve this digital divide, it needs to come and start through the schools. So right now, the digital divide, the biggest thing is funding, number one issue. And then when there are funds, there's little to no training given to students or staff. If there is computers and tech and the internet, it's out of date. It's slow. I've been in schools where they still have dial-up internet, things like that. And then, even if they have all the highest tech stuff, especially with what we're dealing with right now, we don't have enough tech support. So if something happens or something goes down, we're in big trouble. I do see the digital divide in schools being resolved because with technology, you can start teaching students purpose, teaching them habits, teaching them the, the all the benefits of the internet and technology rather than just the entertainment purposes. So I think if you are going to start with to resolve this digital divide, it must start in the schools. What skills do I feel 21st century students must acquire prior to graduation? So I'm learning every day with tech. I feel like I'm pretty tech savvy. But based off my experience, I think you can be fairly successful in this world right now with not having a ton of technology background, because a lot of the businesses that you're going into, they require you to have some things, but they also give you training. So here are some of the things I think are the bare minimum I think you need to be successful in today's 21st century jobs and in schools. So I think you need to type between 50 and 100 words per minute. I think you need to know how to work major search engines, Google, Yahoo, some of the other ones out there, but you need to know your way around it. With that, I think when you're Google searching the web, you need to know what are credible and non-credible sources. If you're getting all your information from Wikipedia, you may be misinformed, so you're not getting what you actually need. I think you need to have a basic understanding of either all the Google Docs, so Google Slides, Excel, things like that, or the more Microsoft side where Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. It's a lot of businesses are making that a requirement now. And then I also think lastly, you need to have the kind of know the ins and outs of a smartphone, all the benefits, not just can it text and call, and take pictures. What are all the different benefits? Can you work that phone inside and out? Can you contact when to do things? All those different things, because a lot of schools and a lot of businesses require you to have that. So what impact has global economy had on my personal use of the internet? It's been pretty dramatic, actually. It wasn't that long ago, I remember going and spending weekends doing grocery shopping and doing clothes shopping and doing this and doing that and doing this. And with technology advancements and the increasing, as technology increases, the economy increases, and with all those things, I have now found myself to where I am literally only buying groceries and maybe some of my clothes at actual stores. The rest of the world is at my fingertips. I can literally talk into my phone and find a place to eat. I can 2-3 clicks, I can have something delivered to my door from Amazon or any other business in 2 days. So I can read books, watch TV, talk to people, and do anything basically I want anytime, anywhere, between my smartphone or my iPad or my tablet or this or that. So technology has made my life much more fluent. It's made it much more accessible, made it easy, fast paced. But with it has come some new issues that I did not always foresee. Protecting my students and now my child from inappropriate material, predators, cyberbullying, personal information being released. All these issues now are arising that we didn't see 15 years ago. So while it has made my life much more fast-paced, much more accessible, much easier, if you will, it has also created some different obstacles that I'm going to have to continue working towards. And with all these technology and advancements, we have new jobs, and which boosts our economy and stuff like that. So with the good comes the bad, but I would say it has made my life very, very, it has affected my life very much so because of the accessibility, man. I can't remember the last time I even bought a book. Everything's going through my Kindle and things like that. So very, very good. Technology training, do I still need? So like I said, I'm very tech savvy. There are 2 areas I want to improve on. I really would like to find more ways to incorporate cell phones and home devices in my lessons. I use Kahoot right now, but to be honest with you, that's about it. So the more ways I can show my kids ways to use their cell phones, their iPads, their laptops, things for informational purposes rather than just playing video games and searching the web, the better off I am. I can do some of the things that I need to do to help bridge that divide that we talked about earlier. The last thing I want to do is more for when I become an administrator, is finding multiple ways to present information rather than just using PowerPoint like I am now, or Power Slides, if you will. So the more ways I have to present information and keeping my students or my staff engaged, the better off I am and they are. So those are the 2 big areas I would like to have more training in. And right now in my district and surrounding districts, there's not a lot of training for either of these. It's kind of search the internet, browse on your own, word of mouth kind of thing. So those are 2 things I would jump all over if I had an opportunity to. Is my school district equipped with 21st century technology? It is, and it isn't. So it is beginning to work towards that. We are not 1-to-1 right now. We are not completely updated with all of our equipment. So we have very old Apple products, and then we also have brand new Apple products mixed in with Google Chromebooks and things like that. So we're not all on the same page, but we are doing what we can with what the funds we have. If you walk through my school, you may not find all these things in every room, but you will find these scattered throughout the school. So we do have, like in my room right now, I have an Apple TV and a TV hooked up. So we go straight to, I can connect my TV to any of my Apple products. I'm getting close to, I have about 11 or 12 iPads and 3 computers and a couple laptops. I'm getting close to that 1-to-1. You're going to find computers. We have 2 really large learning centers found with about anywhere between 20 and 40 computers in those learning centers. You're going to find some smart boards, not a lot, very expensive, and a lot of teachers aren't spending their time with that. You're going to find high-speed internet access in all of our buildings, which is huge. You do not see that in every building, or I mean in every district, but in our district, internet access is very good. You're going to find multiple programs for curriculum enrichment. So you're going to find different programs. You're going to see probably throughout the building hundreds of different programs used for different purposes. So our teachers are becoming more and more knowledgeable of different programs to help enrich their curriculum or their standards being taught. And then in some rooms, you're going to find speakers and microphones to help project voice of students and teachers. So yes, we are heading in the right direction. No, we're not completely there yet where we want to be. We can always have room for growth. What are some advantages of the Web 2.0 do I see in the schools? Okay, so I see endless advantages. I really do. I see we're starting to see buildings become paperless. We're finding access to the worldwide information all the time, anywhere. You know, it's like the dictionaries, my dictionaries are collecting dust. My students are becoming tech savvy. They're getting the computers out, Google searching a word. It's faster than flipping through things. We're having access to work anywhere and anytime. Our high school, almost 90% of all students' assignments are found through Google Docs. So they're building Google Classrooms, things like that, and they're not really carrying around books anymore. They're carrying around iPads or computers or home devices or whatever they want, and they can access that homework anywhere and anytime. So if the student athletes are missing school, boom, it's not an excuse. Here it is. Look it up, watch the lesson, good to go. We're finding access to people and ideas, collaboration, what we're doing right now, and then organization of ideas and information. All next year, every single teacher's lesson plans will be done on Google Docs, so they are shared with administration and they can watch and make sure things are being done right. Disadvantages. I see three big disadvantages here. Technology, Web 2.0 used for entertainment rather than gathering information. We talked about that. So it's not being used to its full potential. It's being used as a babysitter, which is number two. A lot of times when we find tech in classrooms, if the teacher's not completely up to date on it or completely informed or trained, it's more of a babysitter rather than a tool to enrich. And then number three, students depending on tech too much, losing in their imagination and their free thought. A lot of times my students, I have very different students that are kind of on different edges. One of them doesn't even have a cell phone in their room, let alone maybe a TV. And then on the flip side, I've got students who can't even pull themselves away from the iPads or their computer or anything like that. They are completely dependent on technology. So those are the students we want to pull away from the technology. This could become an issue, but hopefully through training and education, they'll realize that this has more than just the entertainment purposes. I have not personally experienced any cyberbullying, but because I'm in fifth grade, a lot of my students don't have access to their cell phones or things like that. They do, but for the most part, I haven't had any really issues. The issues I've had are come from adults. Many times through social media, we've had bashing of staff members and coaches, and we've had meetings on that. And the funny part is I'm seeing the interesting piece in this is our issues are coming from adults, not students. So our students are the one misusing the technology. It is our parents. So that kind of shows you the culture of what technology is used for in our area here. So high school could be very different, though. I know a lot of the issues that are happening in high school. Me personally, my issues come from students. All right, and that's about it. So my standards address are ISTE 5D and then VG 4C. This was a great opportunity for me. Thank you for listening. It was a great time for me to ask myself a lot of questions, and it was kind of a reassurance. This actually was one of those assignments that made me feel good about what my school's doing. We are definitely heading in the right directions when it comes to technology, training our teachers, training our staffs. There are a lot of places that could probably not say the same thing, so this was a good opportunity for me to realize those things. Thank you.